Okay, let's go.
Hey guys, For the Grunt here. Today we're going to be going over more gear. As you can tell, it's different than the last time you see it. The analogy I look at it is you're essentially trying to put a puzzle piece together. You don't quite have the picture in mind that you're trying to put together. You're just kind of throwing stuff at the wall until it sticks. And eventually you find it to where you put the puzzle together and you didn't even know it, and now it's this beautiful masterpiece that you're kind of just admiring at this point. So without further ado, we're going to go ahead and get into the gear. We're going to work counterclockwise. I'm going to start with the belt itself. You will also see a lot of multicam in this video covering this gun belt, and then the next video on the plate carrier. Quick rundown, the reason why you see a lot of multicam is a lot of companies will send me stuff and people will ask me to try stuff out for them. And it comes in multicam, it is what it is. And I'm not going to try and sit here and say, you know, multicam or Coyote tan is best, better, or worse. Different environments require different color sets and color schemes. I happen to be in the Marine Corps, so I kind of have to play the fence a little bit and be a good little Marine and still use the Coyote tan, even though I have multicam, but I have to find a way to try and make it less belligerent, I guess. Sometimes you just got to make the man happy. I'm fortunate to be in a unit where they pride themselves on efficiency and proficiency more than they do dog and pony shows. So without further ado, again, let's get into it. You have your carabiner retainer, and it's just a bunch of smaller carabiners. On it is the chem lights. You just cut the top of the chem light off and you leave this smaller one here, and this actually breaks quite easily. Just be a man about it. You grab it and it sits kind of right above your hip flexor. You can either do left or right. You should yank it down and it comes off, and then boom, you have your chem light. Moving on, you have two mag pouches. I kind of converted into utility pouches. These hold my immediate utilities, my Leatherman, as well as my Surefire flashlight. The reason why I have these on my belt and not my plate carrier, excuse me, is because if I have to shed my plate carrier for whatever reason, I still want my utilities, my tools, quite literally, to still be available to me in the event I have to shed my my body armor. Moving on, I have two speed mags and taco mags. Again, multicam, it is what it is, get over it. I like these here. They kind of sit, if you were to imagine on your body, think of right there at your hip bone, and then this one. And then this one's kind of a little bit behind your hip on the left side. Reason being is because when I'm in the prone, I don't want to play, you know, gymnastics and try and break my arm to rip out a magazine at my ribs. It's easier to stay low without having to lift my chest off the ground when I can just reach back and grab these. These also, obviously, in a pinch and emergency, if I have to shed my plate carrier again, I still have extra ammo to take care of myself. This little beauty I found a couple days ago at the PX, actually, for 30 bucks. The reason why I like this so much is it is ambidextrous. If I have to do self-aid, I can use this on both my left or right side. If one of my arms is hurt and I can't use it or it's not as usable, the other arm can still pull this out. And the way it works is there's a red tab right here, obviously, and I have mine to where it's configured to where you pull down. So you quite literally pull it and it comes out. Obviously you see this, right? So this is the dummy cord that comes pre-attached to this when you buy it. The reason why this kind of caught my eye is I was looking for a way to maintain and retain all of my gear when the situation is going from bad to worse. If I have to get up and move, or my buddies have to pick me up and move me, the last thing they want to do is worry about grabbing every single piece of medical items that got pulled out trying to save my life. So this, it looks a mess, but there's reasons behind it, right? But you can tell, right? It's kind of organized with the bungee system on both sides. It holds your whole IFAK. I got combat gauze, my compression bandage, H bandage, and then I have chest seal, what is this? H&H compressed gauze, my marker, NPA, and that little wristband, I forgot what it's called, where it has like essentially what happened to you that you pass off to the aircraft that's taking you on. And then obviously if you're worried about the red, you can switch it and then use tan that's showing, so you're not like, I guess, exposing yourself too much outside of the normal color range in the environment you're operating in. So you would just slide this back in, kind of just push it, work it a little bit, goes back in, and then you just Velcro it back up, and then boom, you're set again. Tourniquet on top, latex gloves on the side, and then you have your NODS pouch. I am going to scream this until my lungs bleed. Padded NOD pouches. Padded NOD pouches. Get NOD pouches that have padding in them. It would suck so much for you to do something in the daytime, you transition to night, you pull your NODs out, and they're broken. Why? Because it's a thin piece of fabric that's protecting your NODs from the environment, versus you have padding, which is better than just a thin piece of cloth that most people throw their NODs in. Why do you think, at least in the Marine Corps, the PVS 31 SL3 bags, those big rectangular boxes, are padded? It's to protect the NODs. Please, I can't say this enough. Protect your NODs. Invest in the night. It would really suck for you to get shot because you can't see. Not really much about that. Again, it's the camouflage is multi-cam. I just spray painted it tan. This is actually a SCAR double mag. I have my purpose for this one, not for SCAR mags, believe it or not. It's going to be a smoke pouch. So it has a retention bungee. So even if it is not for smoke, say it's something smaller, whatever that may be, it's just a general purpose pouch at the moment with the intent of holding smokes, it can hold it in, which I'm not too worried about. Then you have an upside down grenade pouch. Let gravity do the work. Just unclip it and let the grenade fall in your hand. And then you have a Cobra buckle right there. The only thing I would say about the Blue Force belt is that these PALs, or Molly system, whatever you want to call it, are really thin, and trying to get the strips of fabric that have the metal clips through this is torture. Instead, just grab the flat ones with the pull tabs. You just pull through, and then that'll probably be it. So that's it for the gun belt. This is alleviated quite literally weight off my shoulders, because some of this stuff, like my NODS pouch, my IFAC, the 2 mags, my utility, these normally would have been either on a different part of my body, and they're not anymore. So it's nice, and I get a little bit more range of motion as far as bending at the waist, left, right, front, back. It adds a little bit more flexibility and slims down the profile, and I'm not like super top heavy. So that's it for the battle belt. In the next video, we'll go over the plate carrier. All right, so we're back again, this time with a new plate carrier setup. This plate carrier, it ties into one of the other videos that I posted with the gun belt. So like I said before, and if you're watching this video separately, just know that the multicam thing is not to be a belligerent asshole. It's just, again, to re-explain, people send me stuff, companies send me stuff, people give me items that they want me to try out, tell them how it is, if I like it, and so it's just the nature of the beast. So I'm trying to meet everyone halfway, because the Marine Corps is all about uniformity, and they like the Coyote tan, but I'm also trying to meet everyone halfway, like I said, by not making it as belligerent. So that's why it's an awkward tan color. I'm still working on trying to make it less awkward looking, I guess. So I'm not going to go over stuff I've already gone over, which is like the shoulder pads, the Juggernaut case, the push to talk. We've already gone over that. Cummerbund's already gone over that. The backside, already gone over that. Not really worried about that. Just the new stuff, the adjustments, okay? Again, like I said in the other video with the belt, it's like a puzzle piece or a puzzle you're trying to put together. You don't quite know what the picture is yet, but it kind of forms as you're putting it together. And once it starts to make sense, it's like, okay, this is what I am trying to achieve. It's like you don't know what you don't know until you know. So what I added and I'm just going to know what I added, okay? And how this slimmed down my profile quite a bit and relieved so much weight off my shoulders. So I looked at my plate carrier and I was like, why am I so heavy? And obviously looking at it, I was like, I have a lot of extra crap on here I don't need. I've talked about it in previous videos. I am no longer in a tracker truck company. The first 2 deployments I was track, second one I was truck, now I'm helo. So I don't need that much stuff as far as like, once I get off the bird, it's more that times than not we're doing some sort of raid or we're doing a short-term op. Not saying that it couldn't turn into something longer, but off of the mission set, I'm not going to be out there for a week plus. If I am out there for a week plus, I'm already in the shit sandwich. Like at that point, it is what it is. But what I changed here, we're just going to go literally left to right, is I have a admin pouch that my fanny pack used to be, and I moved it up here because the fanny pack and a gun belt plus a play carrier, all three of those, it's nice because you can carry a lot, but because you're carrying a lot, you weigh a lot, and a lot gets in the way. So I moved it to my right side as I'm wearing it. And in here, I actually have a air panel. There's also an American flag. Oops, don't want that to be upside down. There's also an American flag. So that's a little motivating, patriotic, but air panel, nice to have for marking. I have my tools, went over that. Again, I don't know if they still do it. This is the FY 2021. Might be outdated, probably is, but this is from Mission Essential Gear Company. Most of this stuff is good trash unless it's been changed. Then you have your map pens, and then it comes with this little plastic map case that you can use. It's waterproof for GRGs, whatever important water-soluble documents that may, you need to protect. It's just a general admin pouch, nothing crazy. It is forward enough. As you can see, it's pretty close to the front where I can still access it with one hand and close it with one hand. And then all I did was move my my flexi cuff to the rear. And a lot of people kind of are hesitant with putting stuff in the rear, but literally simply, if you ever had to scratch your lower back, like literally scratch your lower back, that's all you're doing is you're scratching your lower back, and instead of scratching, you're just pulling out whatever it is. But make sure that it is coming down. You don't have to pull it up. So now you have just a locking carabiner. I'm gonna try out these pig gloves. I've never tried them out before. I've been hearing great things about them. I used to run the Oakleys with the hard shell knuckles, just because one, it looked cool, obviously, and the other one is I've just always had them. I've never not had them, and I just kept buying them and buying them and buying them. But I had to cut the fingertips in order to get any kind of dexterity when it came to smaller, minute things. But a lot of people were saying that these ones, I don't have to do that. And I can still do that smaller, minute tasks with my fingers with these without having to cut the tips. So I'm gonna try these out. And then from there, what I did was, so this is actually two separate single stack 5.56 magazine pouches. So in the front, it's a simple elastic. Now, the reason why I have the simple elastic ones in the front is because these also double down as not only magazine holders, right? So if I need to carry extra ammo, and because I'm a squad leader, I don't shoot a lot. So that in turn, in my opinion, turns me into a support / logistics mule. And if I need to bring more ammo for my squad so that we can win the fight, I'm going to do that. And in order for me to do that, if I have to find more pouches or more ways to carry more ammo to hand it to them, I'm going to do that. If I can lighten their load in some way, shape, or form, why not? Like, they're the ones really pulling the trigger and taking the trench first and being point man. Let me do something for them because they're doing something for me. Anyways, back on track. So this also doubles down as not only magazines, but just simple admin pouches. So if I needed smokes, right? If I need to add more smokes, boom, boom, boom. If I need to add any type of object that I need to carry immediately in a hurry and it's small enough to fit in here, it's just getting shoved in here and I'm continuing. I don't have time to phone around with pouches. I don't have time to figure out where am I gonna put it and organize. Nope, slot, slot, slot. Done, keep going. Finish the fight, then we'll go back and figure out what I put in here and then kind of reorganize or pass off to whoever. And then behind these is just a single stack Molly front panel that I use for these. I don't know if you guys noticed, but I took off the fast pull rubber mag pull things. They looked cool. Like, realistically, they didn't really help me that much. They did help, but it wasn't so significant that I had to keep them on. So I just removed those, just again, extra stuff. Behind here, I added the sock P knife. It's just simple. I did it for a little while, run the big Benchmade fixed blade. I moved back to the Sox P knife because when it's out of the way, it takes up less real estate. And if I'm, tussling with someone and, we're face to face, nose to nose, I don't want him to immediately see a big knife handle. And now I'm not only having to fight him off of me, I'm also having to set aside energy, effort, and resources to protect myself from this dude getting my own knife. This is kind of inconspicuous. It's out of the way. At a first glance, you're not really going to know what it is unless you've seen these before. And it's small enough to where it's not like once he gets a hold of it, he's got it. It's like you have to get your finger through here and then pull up. But because this is behind it, you won't really be able to do that. And then moving on, I've already talked about my 6-pin adapter, is just another mag. And then this one, this is the mag that goes in the rifle. So pop in the rifle. This leaves this extra open. Again, if I'm able to carry more ammo for the boys, I will. And then this also doubles down as another smaller admin pouch. I think people are really stuck on Velcro and zippers, which is cool, that's nice, but that's for stuff you've already planned on coming out with. This is more of like, I'm just grabbing stuff and shoving it in there as need be. And then I just have a winglet radio pouch for the 152, and then there's actually a new radio we're getting. Not really gonna go into detail about that new radio, but it comes with like a little, I wanna call it a Kydex insert, but it doesn't feel as, I guess, quality as a Kydex insert, but it does the same job. So I'm just gonna put that over here. And then just rotating it around. Grenade pouch, tourniquet. Again, both of these are upside down, so I can, again, like I'm scratching my lower back, unclip it, and the grenade literally will just fall in your hand and you can use it and it's out of the way. This also doubles down as whoever's behind me, if they need to grab a grenade from me, they can, and I don't have to look down, they can just come and grab it. Tourniquet, obviously, just pull the tourniquet out. Easy day. That's really the only changes to this setup. I'm gonna rock this the next exercise I go on. I'm gonna try and get some footage of it in use, and then I'll let you guys know how it is. This is by no means for just me. I'm just doing this because I'm trying to find a way to make everyone's life easier, not just mine, and I'm not gonna try and gatekeep something really cool that works really well. If it works really well and it doesn't look cool, that's fine. I think if it works really well, that's what makes it cool. So some people might be like, that's weird with the whole elastic things or the cami. Like I guarantee you someone is going to freak out about the multicam. Someone somewhere is gonna watch this video and I already know, just get over it. It's freaking camouflage. If that's the hill you want to die on, we can have that debate at a later time. I just don't, it's not worth it. Like if you're about dog and pony shows, go be about dog and pony shows. Here, at least at this channel, we're worried about what is actually going to work, regardless of what it looks like. If it looks nice, it looks nice, but that's not the point. All right, off my high horse on that one. You guys have a great day, great night, wherever it is that you're watching. If you have any questions, please feel free, hit me up. So yeah, that's really about it. See you on the next one.